Morning and welcome to my channel. Today I've come down to Porthcurnoe beach. It's not very warm. It was icy when I left home at 6:30 this morning to get down here for the sunrise. Unfortunately there's a blanket of cloud out on the horizon, but it's still very beautiful down here. There's nobody been on the beach. I'm first one here. The only marks on the beach look like a seal has slept on the beach and it's made its way out again. They're the only marks. Hopefully today I'll get some nice shots down here. It's not very big waves. It's very cold. It's about 0 degrees on the beach at the moment. It's only 7:30 and I'm just waiting for the sun to come up. I'll show you my setup in a minute and the back of my camera. I'm going to get a long exposure to flatten the sea out, and you've got the cliffs and headland going out on the left hand side of the frame. Hopefully that's where the sun, when it comes up, will light up the sky a little bit and give me some colour. There's some nice marks in the sand where the water is receded out and left some nice patterns, so I'll try and include that in the foreground. So we'll see where we go from there. Okay, right, you should be able to hear me over the sound of the sea. There's not much wind, a little bit of wind, but it's the sea noise you'll hear, but you should be able to hear me quite well. I'm set up now for my shot. What I've got is I've got the headland running round from the left to the right to the centre of the frame, more or less. The birds are here flying as well, so I'll probably do a long exposure and a quick exposure, so I can combine the two together to include the birds, because it looks really nice with the seagulls that are here at the minute. So I'm going to do a long exposure first, which is on my R8 camera, Canon, with my 24 to 105 lens. I've got the polarizer on there to take the shine off the sand where the water's receded out and left some nice markings, and then I've got my 10 stop ND filter on, and that is so I can do a long exposure, because I really want to smooth the sea out, because there's no interest much in the waves because they're a bit small. So if I smooth it out, it'll look a lot nicer. So I'm going to take my exposure now. I'm on f9, ISO 400 and a 30-second shutter speed. I've adjusted it because the lights come up a bit now, so I'm down to ISO 200 instead of 400, which will just won't be any different. You won't see any difference in the picture. It's not very warm here on the beach. It's about 0 degrees. It's nearly 8 o'clock now. Sunrise is just about coming up, so it'll be a little bit longer for it to come up over the top of the headland. And there we go. That's it. Got that one. That looks lovely. I'm going to take another one, just to make sure I've got a couple, and then we'll do a fast exposure to try and get the seagulls in the shot. This one I've just backed it down to 15 seconds just to darken it off a bit, so I can combine the two together, get a better colour in the sky, because there is a bit of colour but not a huge amount. I'll show you in a minute. Good, that one's looking nice. So if I just pan you around, you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. So the shot that I'm taking is about something like that, which I'll put it up on the screen in a minute. As you can see, there's a blanket of cloud out to the horizon and there's a bit of colour in the sky, but not a great deal amount of colour, but it's still a nice shot. I've had to travel for an hour and a half to get here, so I've got to take some photos. It could be better if we had a better sunrise, but unfortunately it's not happened today. But I'm still very happy with the shot I've got. I'll put it up on the screen now. Here's the first bit of sunlight coming through some of the cloud. Hopefully it'll look alright on here. Fantastic bit of light that is, look at that. We've now got some sunlight coming out onto these cliffs. It's starting to light them up now. Looking lovely, as you can see in the shot. So I'm going to see if I can get another photo of that lot all going lit up with that sun. Does look lovely. That's what you call brave. Swimming, and it's only 0 degrees on the beach. Unbelievably cold. And yet this lady has gone for a swim in the sea. Okay, with this shot I've got a rock in the sand, which I'll show you in a minute, and I'm just waiting for the water to come over the top. There's a bit of a brow in the sand, a little bit of a sand, and it's running just down in, and as it runs around the rock it makes a nice some nice patterns. So I'm on my settings, I'm on f22 to try and get it a long exposure on it. There we go. Now look at that. There, boom. Take the shot. Lovely. Just getting some nice there. I think I'm going to go and get me my polarizer on it, because I haven't got my polarizer on. Okay, I'm at Sennen now, in the harbour car park, which is a bit cheaper than driving over to Land's End, and it's a nice walk. So I'm going to walk now over to Land's End and see what photos we can get. And have walked from Sennen, because it's cheaper to park there, over to Land's End. So I shall pan the camera around a minute and show you the views I've got. I come here purposely to take one photograph, which I'm going to walk back to in a minute. But I've just walked up to the top of the headland to look both ways, and I'll pan around and you'll see what I'm looking at. I've taken some photographs of the first part, which is all the rocks, and it's amazing, the cliffs here. So I've taken some photos, which I'll put up in a minute, of this particular angle, roughly. I just can't get over how the rock formations are on this headland just here. It's pretty amazing. Hopefully you can hear me out of the wind, because the wind's up now and it's going cold again. It's the sun's starting to go down, but yeah, this is what I've see. This is looking from Land's End back up towards the Lizard, really, that way. But the rock formations are fantastic. You look at the rocks here. So many different kinds of rock formation. So I think this is the way I'm going to take my shot. I quite like this composition with having this bit of gorse in the foreground and then the archway leading on to the rock at the behind it, and then into the distance you've got the lighthouse. So I'm going to take a photo of this and then I'll pop it up on the screen. So this is a view of Longship Lighthouse once you start walking from Sennen to Land's End, and I think I'll be able to get a Milky Way here sometime in the summer. I think that'll be a really nice Milky Way shot. That's the idea of coming to suss it out today, really. That's what you can see left of the shipwreck. I'll put a name up on the screen. It's you can get down to it. I've seen pictures of people down there, and there's lots of lumps of metal everywhere from it. It's a big ship, but it is steadily breaking up. Every storm we get breaks a bit more up, I think. But yeah, interesting. That's looking from the top of Sennen. Once you've come out the car park and you climb up to the top, it's then fairly level walking all the way around to Land's End, and this is the first thing that you get to see. I haven't taken any photos of it today because the light isn't right. It's a summertime thing when the sun is a lot further around. Okay, that's a long day. I've walked over to Land's End and quite further around to see the arch, which you've seen pictures of. It's been a good day. It's very cold, a bit breezy, but yeah, time to drive home now. I've got an hour and a half to drive home, so I hope you liked the video. If you could hit the bell so you get to see all my other videos when I post them, and if you would like to leave a comment and give me a thumbs up, that really helps my channel to grow. It could do with it getting a bit more subscribers as well. If you really enjoyed this, then please subscribe. There'll be a link in the bottom for where you can buy me a coffee, which helps me create some of this content, and to the next one. I'll see you directly. Cheers and gone.